Hey there, y'all. Got a little problem with raccoons. Not that it's a bad problem, it's just a situation that we need to take care of. And I'm out here in the woods working on what I need to do to take care of the situation. I'm going to set a few dog-proof traps and come back tomorrow and see what kind of results that we had, and I thought I'd bring you along with me as we go. These DPs are great little traps. I like setting coil spring traps too. The challenge with them is different. You have to, bed the trap and do a couple of things differently than with this. You don't bait a coil spring trap. You build a set that has bait included in it, and then you set the coil spring as the security. And coon comes in or other animal comes in, and hopefully they step on the pan of the trap and catch themselves. And then after they're caught, I don't mind them eating the bait. I think it's a pretty nice reward for that. But these are great, great to have. Any subsistence type of lifestyle, people should have something like this to secure meat for the table. Now, this is a nice little tool to help set this thing, and you simply press down on it. As you press that spring, engage the dog, and then take the tool out of it. The thing is cocked, it's ready to go, and I always attach a piece of braided cable. You can pass this around a tree and through itself, and then simply press this in the ground and bait it with something that old bandit enjoys eating. This happens to be some dog food, dry dog food, dry cat food. And go ahead and fill it up. Give him something to attract him. And I always scatter a little around just to, as he comes walking by, he smells it and it takes him right to the trap. And he eats in there and he gets down to the trigger. He pulls up on the trigger to get it out of the way so he can keep eating. And when he does, it trips that trigger, it trips the spring, and it locks his wrist like a pair of handcuffs inside that can. That's a great little trap. And we're going to move on. We're going to keep following this little stream bed on down this trail. And there's a couple other sets that I want to make, and then I'm going to move on to another area and set a couple more. it snowed an inch and a half last night. Now, some of our northern friends may think it's kind of crazy that we get excited about snow, but you got to keep in mind that it may be another 10 or 15 years, perhaps even longer, before it snows enough to have any kind of measurable amount that you can see. And it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the last of the snow is slowly melting away. It was really nice to see it, but I think most of us, once it's gone, well, we won't really miss it, but we'll look back on the pictures and we'll talk about, hey, do you remember the big snow that came in December of 2017? Yeah, inch and a half of snow is a big snow down here on the lower coast. We've got 5 coon cans set. It took maybe 30 minutes altogether, and that includes the walking around that I've had to do. None of the traps have been set arbitrarily. They're all in areas where there's obvious coon traffic. Some of them, like this one over here in particular, is a major coon den up in that tree. Now, the last one that I set, that's going to be an interesting deal in the morning to see what's in it. The day that I found that den tree, there was a very pungent skunk smell right there. And it didn't go away. It was a lingering smell, and I can't help but to wonder maybe if there's not a skunk living up in that den. So come morning, we're going to find out if that is a skunk. That could be interesting. I want to take a minute to address a safety issue. It's hunting season, deer hunting season, rifle season. And this happens to be one of our stands. This time of year, there's people in the woods. The vast majority of them, I'd be willing to say, are good, careful hunters. People that go off into these bottoms like this, they hunt. They're not sitting out on some food plot someplace where they're making 300-yard shots at trophy bucks. They're deep in the woods. They're practicing good skills, good hunting skills. And it just makes good sense. If we're in the woods this time of the year, when we know that there are hunters in the woods, dress in a way that you are visible, whether you're out setting traps, whatever you're doing in the woods, wear something bright. You can see this stuff a long way away. It's hard to mistake this for a deer. Now, it's not just us hunters and trappers that go to the woods this time of year. A lot of people in this part of the country wait until cooler weather to get out and hike, to go adventuring, because on a day like today, after 30 degrees last night and an inch and a half of rare snow, I haven't had not the first mosquito buzz my ear. Before this little cold snap set in, if you came into this same bottom without some type of insect repellent, they would literally pick you up and carry you out of here and have fun with you. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but not much of one. They'd definitely give you a difficult time, and your visit in the woods would be far less than pleasant. Now, in the morning, as soon as we've got light enough to see, I'm going to come out and check these 5 traps. The last time I set these 5, we caught 4 coons, and that was just an overnight deal. And I rebaited them and left them overnight again the next night, and not one of them caught. We had a lot of other stuff going on, so I went ahead and I pulled the traps, and it's been probably close to a month now since I've set any traps. Now, we're going to see in the morning just what these traps have done, and maybe that one over there that smelled like a skunk back in the spring, maybe it'll have a coon in it. And then again, it might have something else, and that would make for another adventure. So we'll check them in the morning.